Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a really pretty icy themed nail using products from Kiara Sky. I do want to say I am part of the Kiara Sky Ambassador program, so if you guys are interested to purchase any of these products, everything will be linked down below. You can use my discount code KCNAILS to save a little bit of money. I do want to also thank Kiara Sky for sponsoring today's video. We're going to be using my practice finger today. I haven't done a single nail design in quite a while, so I figured it's a good time to go ahead and do another one. I just want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up before we start. I do want this video to be very in-depth, so even though this is a single finger nail design, it is not going to be a short video. So I do already have my practice finger prepped how I want. If you guys want to see how I prep my practice hand and my practice finger, I do have a video on that, which I will link down below. So now we're moving on to the tutorial. For this nail, I will be using Kiara Sky's C-Curve Coffin Extra Long Clear Nail Tips. These are really good high quality C-Curve nail tips, so if you are into C-Curve nails, you would definitely love these nail tips. I do already have the size of the nail tip picked out, so I'm going to go ahead and apply it. I will be using the Express Pro press-on nail glue, and I'm using this just because I ran out of my stick-it nail glue. I'm just going to apply a little bit of the glue on the inside of the nail tip and place it down on the nail. The reason I would recommend you guys use the stick-it nail glue is because the press-on glue that I'm using does dry very slowly, so I'm going to have to hold this on for quite a few minutes. Once the nail tip has been glued into place, I am going to take my nail tip cutters and cut down a very tiny amount off of the nail. For this design, I do want the nail to be quite long, so I am leaving most of the length. Next, I am taking a hand file and I'm going to go ahead and blend the corners of the nail tip with the nail bed area. For all of the gel products I'll be using to cure, I will be using the Beyond Home LED nail lamp. This is the pink one. So normally you would want to file over the nail tip to remove the shine to allow the product to adhere. I am just skipping that step for this nail. I am going to go ahead and apply a base coat gel just to make sure the rest of the gel products adhere properly. Once I've applied the base coat, I am going to go ahead and cure. This is an automatic lamp that does turn on when you put your fingers underneath, but because I am just using the practice finger, these sensors aren't quite picking it up, so I am going to be pressing the button to turn the lamp on and off. So before we get started with the actual nail art, I do want to go ahead and say that this nail design is inspired by Nails Val on Instagram. I loved this nail design so much, I definitely wanted to recreate it, so I figured this was the perfect time to go ahead and try it. Of course, I will be using a different product, so because of that, I was a little bit unsure of what products I wanted to use. I typically don't work with acrylic. I really didn't want to have to go in the cold garage just to do a single nail design with acrylic, so my other option was to use dip powder. Kiara Sky's clear is pretty clear, but as you guys know, if you're doing a dip powder like a clear nail, it's not like super clear. So my other option was gel. I like to work with polygel, but Kiara Sky doesn't have polygel. So my last option is to use builder gel. You guys know I kind of struggle with builder gel, so I don't really do too many videos, so we're gonna go ahead and try it again. Do keep in mind I probably will not have the proper structure for this nail design just because I struggle with the builder gel. So I'm just going to go ahead and hold the practice finger a little bit angled downwards and go ahead and start applying the builder gel. At this moment, I am not worried about the color because we are going to be covering up most of the nail with gel polish. I'm kind of just doing this to get a little bit of strength and structure for the nails. Again, keep in mind, I probably will not have good structure for this nail. I will try my best, but I can't make any promises. So something I really don't know the technique of that well is hovering the gel with the brush to form your nail structure with builder gel. So I'm going to attempt it, but just keep in mind, this is not like a tutorial on how to do builder gel. Before I cure this first layer, I'm going to hold it upside down for a few seconds just to try to get the gel to self-level in a better area. I'm going to make sure to wipe the edges just to make sure I keep the shape of the nail tip, and I'm going to go ahead and cure. So this is what the nail is looking like after the first layer of builder. I almost forgot, but we have to encapsulate one of these snowflake sequins. I had these from last year. I didn't really use them, but I am going to try to use these a little bit more this year. So I just took my tweezers and I picked out the snowflake. This one is white and it does have an iridescent like shift to it. So this is the one we're going to be using for this nail. One thing I do want to say is sequins like this are kind of hard to work with because they're so big. They do typically stick very flat. So if you place it on the nail, the corners might hang off, which will cause you to file them if you don't encapsulate it properly. So let's go ahead and see what we can do to avoid that. I think we're going to be placing the snowflake about right here. I don't have any product on the nail yet. This is just on the sticky layer. So once I have it about where I want, I'm going back with the builder and I'm going to go ahead and apply this over top. I am trying to apply a pretty good amount, that way when I go to press it down, I do have gel that will hold it in place. So like I was saying earlier, as you can see, the snowflake is flat and the nail is like curved. So we do need to try to cure the snowflake when it's curved. So to do that, I am taking some cling wrap. You can get this at any grocery store. I'm just going to place it over the snowflake before I cure and squeeze it down into place. For this step of the process, I am not creating any wrinkles in the gel. I only want to bend the snowflake while I cure. Once I've curved the snowflake, I am going to hold it pretty tight and go ahead and cure. So once that layer of gel is cured, I'm going to go ahead and try to take off the plastic wrap. So apparently some of the gel like bubbled up and it ripped off the cling wrap, and now I have like a little lumpy area. I'm just going to take some nippers and try to like cut it off so I can have a very clean application. So now we do have to go back and encapsulate this snowflake. So I'm going to go back with the builder and add another layer. Honestly, I do struggle a lot with builder gel, but so far this has not been too hard. Again, I probably will not have the best structure for this nail, but again, once I have that layer of builder, I'm going to go ahead and cure. So here's the nail. As you can see, I do have a few very small air bubbles. I think that is actually okay because you're not really going to notice it. So I am taking Kiara Sky's lint-free wipe with some rubbing alcohol just to go ahead and remove the tacky layer from the nail. This step is important so you don't ruin your hand files when you go to file and shape. So I am just going back with my hand file and I'm going to go ahead and reshape the nail. Once I've reshaped the nail, I'm also going to file over the surface. So here's the nail after filing and shaping. I feel like this nail didn't turn out too bad. Again, the structure is just, I don't know, man, the structure. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and remove the dust using a lint-free wipe and some more rubbing alcohol. So now I think we're ready for the fun part, which is the nail art. I do want to go for a icy looking nail. So to do that, I am taking Kiara Sky's gel liner. This is called Take a Tint. It's a really pretty pastel blue color. This is from the collection 2. It's actually not quite as light as I remember, but it's a really pretty like medium blue color. So I'm going to be using this one. I am going to go ahead and move a little bit above where the snowflake starts. And I'm just going to draw a horizontal line. And I'm going to be using the same gel liner to fill in the top portion of the nail. I probably should have shook the bottle of gel because it's been sitting for a while and it's kind of like marbling a little bit. So that is not the gel polish, that is my own fault. Do make sure to shake up your bottles of gel if you haven't used them in a while. So I put a little bit too much, like the blue comes down a little bit closer than I would like. So I'm going to go ahead and remove a little bit. Once I have the top half, I'm going to go ahead and move down about the same distance from the blue to the snowflake on the bottom part and do another horizontal line. And I'm going to fill in the tip portion of the nail. Once I have the blue gel art, I am going to go ahead and cure. So I did kind of figure out if I hold the practice finger closer down towards the table, the light does automatically come on. So as much as I don't want to, I am going to do a second layer of the gel liner color just because I had a little bit of marbling. That was my own fault, so I'm going to go ahead and do a second layer of the blue color. So once the second layer of gel liner is done, I'm going to go ahead and cure. So once that layer of gel is cured, the next step is to take the matte gel top coat. This is my favorite matte gel top coat at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and apply a layer of this to the entire nail. I will be going over the snowflake area with a glossy gel top coat after the nail design, but for now we're just going ahead and applying the matte to the entire nail. Once I've applied the matte gel top coat, I am going to go ahead and cure. So here's the nail. We're not done yet. We're going back with the blue gel liner and we're going to do a nail design on the top and bottom portion of the nail. At this point, I'll be honest, I don't think I need to tell you guys the steps that I'm doing because the past like 3 videos I've done have been sweater nails. So I'm not going to be explaining what I'm doing. It is the exact same thing. If you guys do need a better detail for these steps, just go ahead and watch the previous few videos. I don't like it. So because I messed that up, when I was cleaning it off, I realized that some of the color has been dragged down into the clear part. So I'm going to go ahead and file that to try to remove it before I move on to the sweater nail design. So I just took the e-file with a sanding band and I just filed only on the clear part, and that basically removed the matte gel top coat. And that is exactly what happened. I'm not sure why it dragged down the color of the gel liner, but yeah, it's fixed. Let's move on. Once I have the sweater gel nail art done, I am taking Kiara Sky's all-in-one acrylic powder. This is clear. I'm just taking a cuticle pusher and I'm pouring the clear acrylic powder over the uncured gel. Doing this is going to give you the textured sweater nail design. I am going to go ahead and cure. Once the nail has been fully cured, I am taking a stiff manicure brush and I'm going to go ahead and remove all of the remaining powder. And here's the nail design. I'm not finished yet, don't worry. So let's go ahead and move on to the rest of the nail design. So for this part of the design, you will need another piece of the plastic wrap. We're going to be doing this on the back of the nail. I'm just going to apply a pretty decent-ish amount of the gel in the area where I have the snowflake. You don't really have to worry about applying this to the blue parts of the nail just because you will not be able to see it. You don't really want to apply this too thin, otherwise you're not going to get the exact design that you want. So applying a pretty good amount is key for this design. I'm going to go ahead and take the plastic wrap and lay it over the nail. I'm going to take some pointy tweezers and go ahead and press the cling wrap down into the gel. Whenever you're doing this type of icy nail design, you do want to make sure to squeeze the cling wrap around the gel, because if you just lay the plastic over top and just press it down, you're not going to get the exact design that you're looking for. For the icy effect, you kind of want to make pointy, rigid lines, so do keep that in mind as you're creating the design. So something I do want to go ahead and mention now is this nail design. I'm not sure how some people do it, just because you basically have to leave the nail like this. You can clean up these little extra pieces of gel, which I am going to be doing, but if you're doing this on your nails, you will have the nail catching things that you touch, so do keep that in mind. If you try to file it to smooth it out, you're going to lose the nail design, and there's no other way to really like smooth out the back that I'm aware of. Keep in mind, all of the videos I watch do not include what to do after you take the plastic wrap off. So I just kind of assume if people clip away the bigger chunks and leave it as is. Just keep that in mind if you are doing this on yourself or a client. You're probably going to have a lot of dirt sticking on the back of the nail. So I'm just going to take my nippers and go ahead and cut away the bigger chunks of gel. Another thing you may want to do is to take a hand file and just file the sides of the nail, because you may have some gel spill out, which can affect the shape of your nails. The next thing I'm going to do is take Kiara Sky's non-wipe gel top coat. This is one of my favorite gel top coats. I'm going to go ahead and top coat only the clear area of the nail. Applying this is going to reveal how the icy effect turned out. Just to make sure the nail design is as clear as possible, I'm also going to apply some top coat on the back of the nail. I do feel like this step is optional, but if you do want the design to be as clear as possible, I would probably recommend it. And I'm going to go ahead and cure. So you can leave it like this, but I feel like it's a little bit too plain. So I'm going to take Kiara Sky's white canvas gel liner, and I'm going to do a little bit of nail art on the clear area of the nail. I'm just going to start by outlining the little clear area. Then I'm going to be doing a few little dots here and there. And then taking the all-in-one acrylic powder called Glistening Snow. This is a really pretty white that does have glitter in it. And I'm going to go ahead and pour this over the uncured gel. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and cure. And after curing, we're going to go ahead and remove all of the remaining powder. Here's the finished nail. I really like it. It's not quite how I pictured it, but I do feel like it turned out pretty good. Let me know what you guys think of this nail design down below in the comments. Do make sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you're not already, do not forget to hit subscribe, because I do post weekly videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!